It's another original BW Sports 1 production.
Pew pew!
That's right, folks. You know what time it is. It's that time on Wednesday night where the Dukes of Football go live as he strolls into view. That guy right there is the one. This guy right here is DaLion. Together we are the Dukes of Football. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Damon, what's happening, brother?
I'm trying all new entryways to screen. Like, I mean, I did the backwards, I've done the spin, I've done the slow roll now. Man, I mean, just try new things.
I did like the slow roll.
What's up, brother? And why am I on YouTube? I'm not anymore. We're gonna get right off there. Okay,
I
I'm
don't
back.
know. I
Don't
don't
know
know.
how I got there.
All right. He's pulling up illegal stuff, folks. No, I'm just joking. Just joking. That was
I'm
our
very
segment called Blame the Black Guy.
like the black guy. Hey, I've learned to make sure I type correctly. I don't need nobody some weird shit popping up in my search entry.
Huh? We've been listening. We've been listening.
But no, man, what's going on, broski?
Oh, just living a heartbreak down since Saturday night. We had the wonderful TV going out back on the patio for the game. It was feeling good. And then, that 10-man mark hit you twice. But we'll get into that here in a minute. How are you doing?
I am chilling. You know what I'm saying? I know you might have a little discouragement when it comes to your boys, but at least you have some solace. The Cowboys lost as well.
Wow. We'll get into that too.
Yeah, we shall. We shall
Oh, boy.
over undercome.
He is starting early. He is starting early. You know what? We haven't heard much from you in the chat all week. I wonder why. Maybe it's not. It's because you're not 3-0 like the EAGLES Eagles.
Yeah, he's 2-1 like the Steelers. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm feeling pretty good in my positioning where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you're feeling probably pretty good in your college game too.
Yeah, I mean, then they're just holding serve like Georgia. They're just holding serve. You know what I'm saying? Like both of those schools, the meat of their schedule
It's coming up.
is coming up. You know what I mean? Like we'll talk about Notre Dame here in a smidget. You know what I mean? It's not over for them. They still have an opportunity, but I can tell you who didn't help them out, but we'll get to that later. But
Yeah.
yeah, they both still have opportunities, and with them, I just felt that they held serve. You know what I mean? So, and again, you got another one this week. Just hold serve, like really Nebraska, but it's okay though, because that back to back, Ohio State, Penn State is a killer.
That is true. That is true. No, man. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Okay, why not? Why not, sir?
Ah, we gotta talk about it, don't we? We gotta talk about it.
We do, but right now we can do a little bit of high school football.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you
So
brought me off of it for a minute.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, just let him have fun with his comments. We'll get to him in a minute. You know. Let's see. Looks like Monrovia. I know you know where Monrovia is. I definitely know where Monrovia is.
Hmm.
Actually, Monrovia won the state title a few years back with my nephew Jack Attack. But here's some nice little news. This little 3A school is leading the nation, according to Max Prep, in rushing yards. There, sir, about
In the nation.
2,400. The nation, they're in
Damn.
2,400 yards.
All right.
Yeah,
Little
go
country
Monrovia
ass
Bulldogs.
area, yeah, man. They breed them. They breed them big and tough out there.
I know about big, but I don't know about tough. No, I'm just
No,
playing. I'm messing around with Monrovians.
he's
No, it's good. It's good living out there. Good clean air. You can look up and see the stars, and you're not too far away from the city. So
yeah,
it's almost an optimal place to be.
yep. Soon Indianapolis will be buttoned right up to it. So
No shit. We take it over. But no, they did build some like new housing addition out there that kind of has a little funny looking. But hey, congratulations, Bulldogs. You know, way to go. Shout out to the little school. It's not always about the big guy.
that's
Uh,
true.
yeah,
That's true.
and you got something going on with the south side, the southeast side, and the northeast side.
Yeah. So Fishers and Franklin Central is going to be one hell of a matchup. I think they're both 4-2. I believe it's a conference matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
The
Uh,
Mick.
is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. You know more about that than I do. I'm still getting into that finally.
Yeah, I just got out of it.
He'll be back in it here in a couple years too. So
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure you will.
Ah,
In
man,
something.
he might level up, bro. He might level up.
Uh oh. Well, yeah. Franklin Central Fisher's going to be a good game. So they had a hell of a game last week on their homecoming against Noblesville.
Awesome. I guess I should have put Lawrence North down. Eli and I'll be going to the homecoming game at Lawrence North.
That's
Uh,
against what, Warren Central?
hell, I don't know.
I think it
I don't
is.
know. I'm just going to the game. I know it's homecoming. I know it's my 30th high school graduation reunion. We're celebrating all weekend. So first off is the game on Friday. So Eli wants to go to the game, so we're gonna go to the game. And then Saturday he plays in the championship for his league. And
Uh
then I got the ball, the little dinner. So we got to get the wife and I got to get what I mean, get dipped in butter. You know what I'm
oh.
saying? All clean and
Uh
glistening. Stepped into the scene. You know what I mean? For all them haters back in the day.
oh.
Yeah, I aged well.
Uh oh. Just not on the foot side.
Yeah, we're talking about from the knees up.
Oh man. Oh man. All right.
But
I don't
yeah,
have anything else for high school.
nope, sure don't. So let's keep it moving. So that takes us to across the NCAA. Now here it comes to your favorite part of the day. This is where we get to talk about all the foolishness that occurred in the last week. I'll throw up the new top 25 here in a smidget, but we're going to take this down so we can hear Dan and his. You know what? I'm not going to say this. Dan. It wasn't a bad game for
Mm-mm.
Notre Dame. I mean, I
Not at
thought it
all.
was a really good game. I did think they blew an opportunity to make a really good statement. I mean, it just came down to inches. You know what I mean? It really
Literally.
did. It came to the actual inches. So, I mean, I was impressed, and the rankings show it too because you only dropped a couple spots. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they murdered you in the polls. I mean, it was a really good game. Ohio State had to pull a miraculous thing out to win the game. So I
And they
wouldn't be
did.
I wouldn't be discouraged. You know what I mean? Like I said, you have opportunities to work out because I know you got the USC game. Clemson didn't help you out much.
Nope.
So, but you got the opportunity. You got this week's game with a
Duke.
ranked Duke.
Yep.
So you got opportunities to keep your name in, and you're just on the outside looking in. So I wouldn't be too discouraged, and I wouldn't be too overexcited. Ohio State.
I would agree with you on everything you said except for how do you go into the one play that you need and you don't have the full crew out there on the field. Not only did you do it once to bring them down to the goal line, but you did it the last play to let them go up. Okay, that right there is a bonehead mistake. It is a mistake, but man, that's like jumping off sides on offense. You just can't do it. That is I mean, other than that, they played a hell of a game. They really controlled the game, I thought, for the most part of that game. I mean, it was their defense was sticking it to Ohio State. I wish they would have gotten to. I can't think of the quarterback, Ohio State's quarterback's name right now, but if they would have got to him a little bit more pressure on him, I think maybe by that time in the end of the game when he made that throw, he wouldn't have made that good of a throw, perhaps. But and they were on point that last drive, and that's all they needed to win the game.
Agreed. The downside to that game is uh, I actually wasn't that big of a downer on Ryan Day. I thought he was a decent coach. I thought he was a good bring in for the two negative coaches that school in Ohio had with Jim Tressel and all of his underlying things that was going on under his regime, and then the Urban Meyer debacle. You know what I mean? Even though it did bring national championships, there was also scandal. Ryan Day was one of those guys who didn't bring scandal with him. So, it was a good face for him. I didn't have a picture. Plus, he looked like Lieutenant Commander Riker's little brother. So, you can't be mad at the guy. You know what I mean? But that was a bad look at the end of that game, at the interview. I mean, Lou Holtz can barely stand. Lou Holtz is a Notre Dame dude. He's going to say what he feels, you know what I mean? And if you get that butt hurt about analysts talking about your toughness, or that's what they do. That's what they get paid to do. They watch these games and they see it and they match up against other people. I mean, unfair it might be at times, but that's what they get paid to do. And you get paid millions of dollars to take it and make your team better. Stop crying.
I agree with you there.
Not a fan. These crying ass coaches.
There ain't no different. Crying ass coaches, crying ass kids. Quit crying, everybody. Damn.
I'm a man.
Right. I'm 40.
I'm 40. I'm a man with a mullet. Let's see what else. That knocks off two things. I guess we got to talk about what everybody else is talking about. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we knew that the bus was going to stop at Oregon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we might not have known that it was going to stop in such a abrupt
halt, yeah,
kind of way. But you know what I mean? After a great week for Colorado, it was a bad day. It didn't look good. I don't think even if Travis Hunter was able to play, that it really would have made that big of a difference. The difference in that game is exactly what Deion has been talking about since he was at Jackson State and he came to Colorado. I got the skills players. I got the guys on the edge, on the outside, and the quarterback to play up here. It's just I don't got those 300-pounders that run the 4.4s in the middle. You know what I mean? And you saw that. You know, the Oregon dominated that game up front in the trenches on both sides of the ball. I just thought it was, excellently designed. It just did what you're supposed to do as a bigger team.
absolutely. I mean, we knew that Oregon was going to come in and put a stop to it. Did I think that their defense would be that obliterating to that Colorado offense? Not maybe to that extent, but like you said, them big boys, man, them trench boys, them right there are gonna win, make or break a team, make or break a season. And Colorado's got a gauntlet in a season coming up. They had, we talked about last week. They had Oregon this week or last week. They have Southern Cal this coming weekend, and I see the sources' opinion on that, and that's going to be rough. And then they got the Sun Devils of Arizona State. It's not going to give up for them. I mean, they show your will as a team right now. This is where you make or break the rest of your season.
I mean, but everybody got overhyped on them real quick and real early.
Oh
One
yeah,
because they beat a TCU
TCU
team that probably shouldn't have been in the top 25, but they were because they were in the national championship game last year.
week
But you
16.
haven't seen anything from TCU since. You
Nope.
know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So everybody got a little overhyped on them right away because they went 3-0 against teams that, not to say they should have beat, but they had the opportunity to beat, and they did beat them because they weren't favored in any of those games, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe one of them. You know what I'm saying? But the Colorado State, after the bus went, yay, yay, yay. But, I mean, at some point in time, you knew that they was going to have to play these other guys in the Pac-12 that speak of what our notes is. The Pac-12 is absolutely the best football conference right now,
Man,
hands down.
man.
You know what I mean? They're waxing outside of conference. I mean, and I think Washington's Andy Penix, the 40-year-old, just jumped to the front of the Heisman race. But, you got to think, you had to know that the bus was going to stop with Colorado. And then after USC, what they got, Arizona
Arizona
State,
State.
which
They
is
got
absolutely, you still got to play either Utah, UCLA, Washington, or Oregon State, or
Oregon
Washington
State.
State.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They're loaded.
yeah. It doesn't give up. Their schedule does not allow them to um, recover, I should say.
Yeah, it doesn't give them a whole lot of wiggle room. But, I mean, if you look at it on paper, when everybody looked at the beginning of the season, what was the over and under for Colorado? 4 or 5 wins?
Yeah, I think it was 5.
So they're probably on par for exactly that. 4
Yeah.
or 5 wins. Maybe 6 if they catch one, somebody's slipping. You know what I mean? They'll get better as they keep going on. Get 6 wins and catch a bowl game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The Independence Bowl in New York
Right.
at noon.
Yeah. I mean, and we're not saying that Colorado is a bad team at all by any means. They just
No.
have one hell of a schedule amidst a young and small team compared to these other schools that they are playing, especially in their own conference.
Freeze that. Freeze that. But like we said, that Pac-12 is dangerous right
Man.
now, bro. They're dangerous.
I hate it.
I don't really want to play any of them. I don't want
hate
to play any of them until I have to.
Well, yeah, we got Southern Cal coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Not until next year.
Right?
That's going to be amazing. Big Ten at the beginning of the day, and to end the day, we got Big Ten.
Right?
Woo.
It's going to have to
Woo.
be.
That's amazing. But anyway, I guess let's throw up this top 25 real quick before we switch over.
So now we're talking about getting into the actual rankings where, okay, I'm okay with them. We're week 5. We're talking about people now. Week
What
1.
happened to the
All right.
color?
Week 1.
What happened there? I don't know. That went kind of weird.
Ooh, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
That was darker than normal.
Never mind.
Yeah, let that one go. Let that one go. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that.
Woo, yeah. So Georgia sitting at the top, number 1 still. Michigan right under them at number 2. Texas we'll get into here in a little bit. Ohio State, Florida State, Penn State, Washington, Southern Cal, Oregon, Utah. I mean, look at the right there in the top 12, top 10. I'm sorry. You have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top 10 are in the Pac-12.
Yeah, yeah. And that Ohio, like he was saying, that Ohio State and Florida State, they all just keep moving back and forth each week. You know what I mean? Like it's 1 week, one's 3 or 4 and 5. And they just keep moving back and forth. They're unsure on both of those guys.
Yep. And Matt, I'm sorry, Penn State's going to have to win out if they want any chance of doing any playoff dance because, I mean, you do have Ohio State there, Michigan there. So you got to go to the conference championship and win it to get any type of nod to that game, and I hope it happens because I'd like to
Not
see Penn
really.
State back in there. I'd like to see Penn State back in there, but I'd actually like to play them in a bowl game because I like the rivalry we used to have. But yeah, man, Pac-12, Pac-12 football. I mean, you look across the top 25, half the conference is there.
I agree with you, Matt. Ohio State is not that impressive, and that's not just coming from a Michigander. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not that impressed. I think there's a lot of I think they have a lot of holes, but I will say that they're one of those teams who continue to get better each week and each week. You know what I mean? And so I don't expect anything less from them. But I think they have some issues, especially on that defensive side. And I think he relies a little too much. Like they didn't use him at first of the season, but now I think they rely too much for Marvin Harrison to make a great play instead of utilizing him all over the field like they should. But man, I do like Penn State, but I think they too have a little more quarterback issues. Yeah, he's looked good, but I think there's some things that can be improved, and I expect them to improve. And I don't think that we've seen the best of the Michigan team either. You know what I mean? We haven't. They've exploited the J.J. McCarthy thing with the passing of his accuracy. I know he had to slip up with the 3 interceptions, pressing it a little bit, but they focused on that. Last week, you start to see a little bit more of the running power and using that offensive line, and the weather is getting ready to start to change in the Big Ten. So that's when I think you really start to see that running game start to rush. So I think when those 3 teams meet up, it's going to be fireworks, baby.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Those 3 teams are going to kill each other. Let's call it how it is. They're going to kill each other.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing how that Pac-12 plays out. Big 12 is looking pretty good. Not the Big 12. The ACC has a little action.
Yep.
ACC has a little action. I mean, you play one of them this week, Duke. The Duke Blue Devils is ranked pretty. They're in the top 20, looking well balanced. North Carolina's still hanging around there. Florida State right now is them and Duke are the talk, but ACC looks a little good there.
Yeah, they do. And I'm going to have to disagree with Matt on saying Penn State should have jumped Florida State just because I do not believe if you did not play or if you didn't lose your game and I'm sitting ahead of you, so if we both won, no matter how I look, and that's what I don't like about the rankings in college. I don't care how I looked. I didn't lose. So there's no reason for this team that maybe looked better on the field that day to jump me in the rankings because I did not lose my game. So I don't agree with that part. But, to his point, Clemson, I mean, and you said they didn't help us at all, but Clemson, yeah, okay. I don't even know what to say about Clemson. Thumper top.
Yeah,
I don't have anything nice to say. Don't say anything at all.
Yeah, Clemson's in the. I think Clemson's in a talent rebuild.
Oh.
I don't want to say they're in a program rebuild. I don't think they've given up on Dabo. I mean, he's done too much.
That boy Dabo.
I think he gets that kind of grace. But I think they're in a talent rebuild. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of this conference changing, that changes how you recruit. Along with the NIL, how much NIL is Clemson offering with their partners, you know what I mean? All that stuff now becomes a part of recruiting. And Dabo being a part of the old clan, I don't know if he's adjusted to that. You know what I mean? Harbaugh went through that, you know what I mean? Now you see a little bit more of that NIL situation. Well, you kind of got to now because these kids that's part of their recruiting. What kind of NIL deals can you offer? Oh, none? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
see if they pick up the phone for your ass again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that is a big play now, and start on board with it. I mean, if they're going to pay him, hey, let it happen then. Pay him.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's it for college. You good on college?
One last thing.
One last thing.
Little announcement. We'll have him on the show next week, I believe. And I'll be on location next week. But we're gonna have our new signed BW Sports One Management, Peyton Knight from the Marion Knights, Marion University here. He is going to hop on with us for the NFL picks next week.
A guest picker.
Guest picker. So yeah, check him out. Welcome him to the BW Sports One Network, the management company, and yeah, let's hop on board for the future for him.
Hey, Marion Knights. That's a good NIA program, right? It's an NIA, right? NIAIA. NAIA. Yes, that's a good program down there when it comes to football. Didn't they win the national championship a couple years ago?
I believe so.
Yeah, I know. I've watched a couple games there. I've watched a couple games. I watched a couple Marion Knights games.
Yeah,
they get hype over on that little corner, man.
Right, over by the Velodrome and
and the soapbox derby track.
Yep, nobody knows where it is unless you know where it is.
Yeah. No one knows where it is unless you exactly know where it is. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a golf course right there too.
It's
Fall Creek Golf Course. I think that's what it is.
Coffin.
Same. Yeah.
Coffin and Riverside.
Yes, Riverside. That's it.
Yep.
People forget about that soapbox derby, man.
Oh,
that's where the Boy Scouts go, man. That thing get hype.
Man, we'll have to bring the drone out there one day.
The drone.
Oh. We'll send Damon down in a soapbox car.
Shit, you get one that big.
Oh, we'll make one that big.
Yeah, I quit. I can't steer right. That's not fair.
Thing ain't got no brakes, man.
Oh yeah, I'm getting right out of there. I'm already crippled.
Very true. Very true. You got a handicap sticker.
Yeah, I need one. I need that.
You do.
I need that. I need to look into that, man. I'm trying to fight it, but I need to go ahead and accept it. I can just get that early spot.
I mean, really, age alone should be making you qualified.
Yeah. That might get you a mute button.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
I'm distinguished.
There you go.
I'm aged like a fine cognac.
There you go. I like that. I like that.
I'm brown and cognac brown. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Milk chocolate.
Oh. Yes, we're going to go ahead and start talking about the NFL now, folks.
Ready, set, NFL!
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the music because I forget. Hey, I know I don't have it on here, but is Joe Namath like the greatest ever?
That dude can drink like a fish and do an interview like no other.
Oh my God, man! I don't care if anybody interviews the Jets. Please interview Joe Namath every week on the Jets. This has to be like a show.
Especially if they're winning. That might be a while.
Oh, Joe Namath. But anyway, all right, we digress. Do you want to start off talking about them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here you go, Matt. Here's your session.
Yeah. They almost had me drinking the Kool-Aid, man. They almost had me drinking the Kool-Aid. You know, and I'm going to give them a little credit. I watched, the Cardinals, pretty much dominate the Giants that first half of the game last week. And I'm not a Dobbs hater because he used to be a Steeler backup at one point in time, and their running back Connor used to be, the Steeler at one point in time, and those are good players. But this was the number one ranked defense, regardless if your boy was there or not. You know what I mean? It was like they just neutralized everybody on the field and just, with the work. They throwing dimes he's throwing Dilford dimes, Dobson dimes all over the place. Whew. I am so sorry for your loss.
Not really.
No, I just thought it was funny how everybody got quiet. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Boy, they was trashing everybody else, but got real quiet when them Cowboys lost. Disappeared. Won't start talking about baseball and you know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
you know what I gotta say to that? 3-0, baby.
All right, I've had my fun.
I ain't gonna
Hey,
say
listen,
nothing
everybody
to
looks
James
better
Conner.
with. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Everybody looks better than Kyler Murray
Murray.
with his man sports bra.
What's going on here, people? They got killed with penalties. Okay, and that's part of the game. Sorry about you. That's just called be better because you're never going to win a Super Bowl doing that shit.
Wasn't that Mike McCarthy's issue the last several years was penalties and Dak's interceptions?
Mr. Hip Swivel.
Hey, didn't he throw an interception to end the game in the end zone?
I believe so.
Okay. What was his over-under for the BW Sports?
Man,
9?
what was it?
Was it over under 9?
No.
Or was it 10? 9 or 10?
It had to be 10.
10?
I thought it was more than that, but it had to be.
Okay, I'll give you 10 or 11. I think it was. I can go back in the notes. We got them.
I think it was like 12, but
I can go back. We got them. They're in the notes.
maybe that's what we said he was going to get, like 15.
Yeah.
He's on his way, folks.
It's off to a good start.
Yep. Here he comes.
All right, I'm gonna quit picking on
All
other
right.
guys.
Yeah, we won't pick on them. The Colts, man. The Colts. Mule kicked the. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Oh, Matthew, but you are using it as an excuse. Oh, that's right. It's a first for everything. Here we go.
I mean, you always got to get a first. You know what I mean? To get a last, you got to have a first.
Oh, Matthew. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go to this.
Yes, all right. So the Colts, bro, like, listen. Like we had the Colts at 4 or 5 wins, 3, 4, or 5 wins.
Less wins too.
They're looking pretty good, man. Sorry. Do we have a quarterback controversy? I was just picking at the people. I just tried to get them riled up.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't think so, but man, I don't know. Yeah.
Hunter come in winning games, bro. Not like not losing games, but winning games. Yeah. Minshew. Yeah.
The mustache. The Minshew mustache is here to stay, folks. No, I mean he's not a bad quarterback. We've said it for when he was over at Philly. I mean, he's not a bad quarterback.
He's just not a starting quarterback.
He's not a starting quarterback.
For long term.
Correct. Richardson needs to get back as quick as possible.
Hey, but you got, I mean, who do they have this week? The Rams?
I believe so.
You think Hunter Minshew can you think that offensive line can hold up to Aaron Donald? They played pretty well the last couple of weeks. I don't know.
Hunter?
I don't know. I just want to. He's
our Bruce Harper of the Colts, huh?
Yes, he's absolutely that.
I got you.
She bitched at me the other day because I kept doing it.
I mean, I don't know. The Rams are so wishy-washy that who knows? Who knows which Ram team's going to show up? So they may become 3-1.
They might. I mean, the Rams got to come all the way across country and play an early game. So I mean, that's like an 8:00 game for them if you really think about it. So we'll have to see how focused they are. You know what I mean? They have a lot of talent over there. I think it's all on the defensive side of the ball. You know, and I didn't really have them going very high in the first place, the Rams. So I don't have a whole bunch of expectations. But I didn't have the Colts looking very great either. But they play teamwork, man, and don't slip on this Colts defense. I thought the power rankings kind of shaded them a little bit. You know what I mean? Beating the Baltimore team, stuffing their run game for the most part. You know, it was neck and neck in that game. You know, that was a big win. Like, hey, man, go Colts.
I can't say anything bad about them, really. I mean, they are the hometown team. As long as they're not playing Philly, I'm fine with them.
Agreed. Except for the Philly part, but
Right.
agreed. I got no issues with the horse. You know what I mean? And I always enjoy when they beat the team of the city that gets mad because the Ursay snuck them out of town in some Mayflower trucks in 1985.
4. Yeah.
How do you just move a whole team in some Mayflower trucks in the middle of the night? Did nobody in Baltimore just be like him? That looks funny.
Right. There's 20 Mayflower semis pulling up to the dome.
Yeah, nobody peeped that game or nothing. Just like, oh, must be doing some cleaning.
Yeah. They did cleaning all right.
What else do we got over here? Dolphins.
Hoo-wee. Wow. 70 points.
In an NFL game.
I know. 70-20. If you would be told 70-20 was the score of this week's football game, you would have thought either high school or college, not pros.
Yeah, you thought of one of those Western teams like Oregon or
Right.
USC playing like Northwestern, Middle Tennessee, Kentucky
Exactly.
State College.
Exactly. That's exactly that feel. Oh, my God, there he is. Big Ben is in the building, folks.
Hey, you know what that ass whooper remind me of? Of that Phantom High School in Florida.
Oh, boy, here he goes. The source. I'm going to send Big Ben out to the source. He's going to handle my lightweight.
Yeah.
Big Ben beat you at his head, source.
But I mean, that's a pretty bad showing for the Broncos, which means they have a whole another set of issues that we'll get into in a minute. But this one is more about the Dolphins, and that offense seems to be pretty darn good right now with Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah. I mean, you can't deny the fact that they put 70 points up in an NFL game, for one. For two, I mean, he's staying healthy. That's what they've needed the past couple of years. As long as he can stay healthy, that's going to definitely be a factor going forward. Last year, our good old buddy Zach Deere over at Elite Performance, where the dream of elite fitness becomes reality, 765-499-1005, or go to eliteptindy.com today to check it out. He reminded me that last year to this year, the stats are like identical on Tua's stats. And they played the Bills, and that was his first concussion last year. So will he make it past that hump this year of a concussion knocking him out and taking the team on a whirlwind spiral downward? We'll see.
Well, I don't think the Bills have, other than making the tackle, have any direct correlation if this man gets concussion or not. But
No.
I like the Dolphins. I like to see what their defense is going to be when they get challenged with a team that can put up as many points. Say a Kansas City, say a Cincinnati when Joe Burrow becomes completely healthy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they've played anybody who can score just as explosively as they can. I guess you could say the Chargers because that game was really high. You know what I mean? I want to see what their defense is going to do when they come against those guys that actually can play some defense as well. But the Dolphins look amazing. They're balanced with run game, with Tua and the backs, and his scrambling, his moving, their inside passing game. You can just throw it up and Tyreek catches everything God knows to man. It's like you can't outthrow this guy. So I think it's going to be – the offensive line is who really should be the star of their offense right now because they're protecting him so well. I guess that
Mm-hmm.
1% helmet is doing his job. But
Hey, I mean, it's doing something right. They're definitely looking like a very, very high caliber team. Um, a very sound team, a very overall, like you said, balanced team, offense, defense, everything. They still have some work to do to fill holes, but I mean, they're little holes to fill right now.
right, right. But then that transitions us into wow, Sean Payton, did you stick both of your damn feet in your mouth?
Boy,
Because I think you might be worse than the Bronco team from last year. He didn't give up 70 points.
mm-mm. That was pretty pathetic. Not gonna lie, not very pathetic.
Like, they didn't even have any of their backups in. They were playing practice squad guys in the fourth.
That's how they scored, right?
I mean, it was just ridiculous, man. Like, there's trouble. You got guys who's frustrated, who said, I've been here my whole career and we didn't do nothing but lose here. So, I mean, was the Peyton Manning Super Bowl worth all this bullshit that you guys are going through as Denver fans?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. They got to do something because it's like ever since um, there was the change when Elway stepped down. Didn't he step down 2 years, 3 years ago? 2 years ago. I think Elway stepped down 2 years ago. I don't think it was last year, but there's been some major issues up in the front office, I think, that needs figured out quick. That way it can come out to the field and we can see a better team because I think there's a lot of talent that is on that team that is just going to waste.
Yeah, I mean, Denver is a trash burner. That's why I made them one of the games of the week is the picks. Like, dude, this
Uh,
is going to determine who gets the number one pick. I know there's 4 teams this week that are playing that are 0-3, but only the other 2 teams, I feel that they have promise. I feel that they have somewhere to go. They still have some points. But these 2 bastards, the Broncos and the Bears, ooh, you're a
oh yeah.
Dustin. I can't believe I picked the Bears. I was just going off blind faith. Just blind. That was that blind faith that people talk about. Like you just, oh yeah, really? I'm down for that. Like stupid me.
Yeah, we'll have to get to that here in a minute.
I guess we got power rankings. I didn't do the whole list because we don't care about anything but the top 10 because the rest of that shit doesn't even matter, even though Cincinnati is 11 and the Steelers are 16 and the Colts are very disrespected at 27.
So this is what I was getting at in our discussion earlier about rankings and power rankings and shit like that. A team that is 2-1 is above a team that is 3-0. Now these rankings don't mean shit to me, but if you're gonna do them, let's do them right. I don't care how that team looked. This team did not lose. I don't get it. I don't get that notion that people are allowing to happen in sports rankings nowadays.
I don't necessarily agree with it when it comes to like polls, as in per
I
se
know you're gonna
college.
say because these are
No,
power rankings, and I
right,
get it.
as is it polls into college. I mean, I
No,
think that obviously can be overrated, but like with the power rankings, they're looking at all of that shit. At college, they're not. They're
right,
looking at none of that. But the power rankings, they're analyzing who you're playing, how they're playing, how you play when you play them versus the way you play when somebody. Yeah, they fact they like do. I put a little faith in that, and I mean, I even though the Chiefs lost game 1 without Kelsey. I'll just make that asterisk, and you can see how they look with him and then with him healthy. You know, I think
With
right
him,
now the way the
healthy
Eagles
Taylor Swift.
play, yeah, but how the way the Eagles looked the first 2 games and then finally put it together the second half of the third game. At the eye test, I would put Kansas City ahead of them by the smallest of margins. You know what I mean? But I know when Philly catches that groove offensively, you know what I mean? Like, when is the last time you saw Philly get stopped on the quarterback sneak?
Just this week.
My point exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, not to say now next week when they play, who knows? Philly might move to 2 for me. Who knows? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. I kind of do power rankings on a week-to-week basis instead of a whole.
So these are your power rankings?
No.
Okay,
No.
I got
This
you.
is this is NFL. This is
Okay.
NFL.com
Woo.
power rankings. NFL.com power rankings. These are not mine.
I was getting ready to send the death threats to you like they did poor boy at Colorado State.
It's not mine. I can't. I am not that intelligent to do power rankings. You know what I mean? I could give you my rankings how I think, you know,
Right.
but
Dallas wouldn't be on them because they just lost to the last team in the league.
they wouldn't be that high. But I wouldn't make them go that far.
Well, 10.
Yeah, I can drop them to 10. You know what I mean? I like to sneak in of the Packers. Jordan Love is playing excellent football. You know what I mean? What a comeback, down 17.
Quarter.
Yeah, down 17 to come back from a Saints team that was playing pretty good. Baltimore slipped as they should have. Cleveland, that defense is keeping them alive, man.
Yes, they are. And I picked them up in my fantasy league because I really do think that they are one hell of a defense.
Yeah, that's a nice defense. Just wish their offense can catch up. Buffalo, I wouldn't have put Buffalo that high. I'd have probably dropped Buffalo. Buffalo has not shown me anything to make me be like, ooh, Buffalo.
I think that some things may change after this week. We'll never know. We'll see here in a minute. I like the suspense. I keep saying we'll talk about it here in a minute.
What are we talking about?
No, we're
the games.
We're getting to those, but because it's like I want to say something, but I want to hold off on it, so I'm going to hold off on it. But, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But,
so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll just transition right into that. Here's our standings for the last week. This week was a pretty good week. Everybody finished above 500. Dan had 2 bad weeks in a row, but he recovered a little bit this week. Nobody was under. We had a perfect week. Wizard is like, I guess we should have penalized him now.
Don't ever let him do that again because it sucks. That was bullshit. Yeah. I should have vetoed that one.
You should have vetoed that one. So, yeah, Greg sits up top with a 2-point lead. I think we got a tie there. And I'm just hanging around. You know what I mean? Last year I was in your position, Dan, and I never really recovered. I mean, I had good weeks, but it wasn't enough. So,
I'm coming back.
You're not out of it. You know what I mean? Last week was hurting. That hurts bad.
That hurt. First 2 weeks did.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks did.
The last 2 weeks hurt bad.
I got one out of each week, I think.
Yeah. That hurt.
Tommy Boy fell from the top to the bottom almost.
Yeah, he still finished in a positive, but no. We had 7 games. We had 7 games. So yeah, he dropped. Yeah. Poor guy. But it's all right, though. we be all right.
Big Ben, I was waiting on somebody to say that. That's funny as hell. The leaderboard is so weird. The guys that watch wrestling only are kicking the sports guys' asses.
Yeah.
Sunshine
they're picking off
dog's ass every once in a while.
They're picking colors off wrestlers' uniforms.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, at least we're not Chargers fans like the Wizard.
Ooh, Chargers.
Stab.
All right, let's get into these games, man.
All Alrighty.
First game up, we got the number 10 Utah 4-0 going against the 19th ranked Oregon State Beavers. Now, I know Oregon State lost a very competitive game to Go Cougars. Ooh, ooh. Hey, funny thing, I text Matt during the game. I was checking on her to see how everything was going. The picture I get back is her at the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can see mountains in the background. It's pretty cool. But that's beside
Yeah.
the point.
No,
Uh,
that was a good point. I like that picture. That picture was awesome. Seeing her so happy out there at the football game. That was a big matchup. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool as shit. So, but this is a good matchup. I don't think Utah has its number one quarterback yet. What's his name? Ryzen. I don't think he's cleared yet to play, so they're still playing the split backup quarterback role. I think Oregon is a little ticked off from that big loss last week, and I think what's his name? I know it. Give me a second.
Do, do,
I
do.
forget. Oh man, I've been working on it too, and I knew it, and then it just slipped my mind. But DJ, damn it, forget it. Yeah, Oregon State.
Oregon State needs to have their run game on point, and because Utah's defense on the run is pretty stuffy, but I think Oregon State pulls it out.
Yes, I know he's a former former Clemson quarterback. I think it's DJ Ualungale.
Oogalagale.
Yeah, there you go. However you spell it.
There
Yes,
you go.
yes.
Yep. I think this is
Um,
the game that Utah falls like they usually do. That one game, and then they kind of try to creep back up, and then they let us down again. So that's where my thoughts are with the Utes right now.
yeah, I like the Utah team. They're very resilient. Those are a team that always has the next man up mentality. But I think this one's going to be Oregon State's night.
Yep. At home. Yep. They got this. What are you looking at?
Uh, uh, Lewis, our friend Lewis, is texting me. He looks like he's knocking on the door.
My man Lou. Tell Lewis I said what's happening.
Will do, kinda. Let's see. And from there, you just keep going. Where we at? We go. Oh, we gotta go to the next person.
Yeah.
Let's. Here we go. Here we go.
Dun,
Here we
dun,
go.
dun,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
dun. Boom.
Huh, you got the Irish.
Hmm. Against an undefeated 17 ranked Duke at Duke. Notre Dame favored 5.5 points. The over under is 52. I'd have to say that it is going to be an over with a Notre Dame saying nope, it's not going to happen twice in a row, and they're going to let the college rankings committee see that they are right with not dropping them more than what they did.
That's hilarious, Matthew. I'm going to go chuckle, chuckle, he.
Jesus.
But this is at the exact same point, kinda, that Notre Dame was in last year. Same team who they lost to in OSU, coming up to an opponent. How are you going to respond to that loss? Last year, you lost to Marshall. That is what destroyed the season, not the loss to Ohio State, because you still could have gotten through. And the same scenario applies this week. But this week's opponent is a hot new face in the ACC, undefeated. They've already had a signature win this season, and they're looking for another one to keep moving on. But I think the Dukies are not going to prevail in this particular matchup.
Did Steven and Greg do this on purpose just to let us think that we're going to catch up with them or something?
I don't know what they were thinking. You know what I mean? I like Duke. I think they do have a dynamic football team. I think they're balanced on the offensive side. They pass and run as equally as well.
This is a prime time game too.
Yeah, this is a night game, ABC. So, but is the lights going to be too much for Duke in this scenario? I know they've gotten a big win already, but this would be their biggest win. You know what I mean? But when you come down to it, it's all on Notre Dame's side. Are you going to step up and overcome that adversity?
He used the word for the first time this season.
Air quotes. You know what I mean? How are you going to respond? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to have that hangover where your head is hanging and you start giving up plays that you want? Or are you going to seize this opportunity that you still have in front of you? So, but I like Notre Dame. Go Irish. Touchdown
I agree
Jesus.
with you too, Matt. They should put 11 guys out on the field. It may help.
Once or twice. Something nice.
For them.
All right. So another ranked matchup. We have 24th ranked Kansas Jayhawks. Surprisingly, they're winning and looking very quietly doing it. Going against a team that might be the most balanced, best looking football team outside of Washington Huskies that we've seen this year. I'd say ahead of them because they've actually played somebody.
I want to say it like this. This right here is going to be the matchup like Oregon and Colorado was last week.
Ooh.
In my opinion, Texas is way bigger than Kansas, way faster, way everything overall.
Ow.
And I just think that Texas is going to waylay and cover the 16.5-point spread easily.
There you go. Hey, by the way, Oregon had the spread covered in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
There ain't no shows in Colorado this week.
Nope. Prime time.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, the stock went down to the sunglasses. Cass is crazy, man.
Like
They're so
prime
50.
rib to ribeye.
Oh, wow.
Prime time to prime rib.
All right, so our last college matchup of the week, we have the 13th ranked LSU Tigers 3-1 versus the Lane Kiffin assholes at. Oh, that's not fair. Versus the Ole Miss Rebels and asshole coach Lane Kiffin, who got humbled once again by his daddy last week.
I hate Brian Kelly.
You do?
So Ole Miss is going to pull out this win and kind of redeem their loss last week.
Well, I can't stand fucking Lane Kiffin. I don't like Brian Kelly and his voice.
You can tell who the Irish fans are. Fuck Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his accent either.
No, yeah, that came out of nowhere when he went south.
That was amazingly terrible.
Sound about as good as his.
Yeah, but I just think LSU has a better football team.
I agree to a point, but I still think Ole Miss can pull this off.
They could, as long as Lane Kiffin cheats. He's a cheater. He's a liar, and he's a deceiver. He's a blatant. At least most coaches have the respect to manipulate you the old ways. Like, he's just gonna tell you, I'm not gonna do shit for you and recruit you anyway.
Good point.
But anyway, let's jump to our pro picks. Game. This might be the official game of the week, but I think the next game is the game of the week.
You just like saying that, but until you show people what it is, and they're all gonna be like, "What?
What?" Yeah. So we got the Dolphins 3-0, Bills 2-1. This is a game that I feel that the Dolphins must win. Not a must-win game, but a game they must win for dominance or to take over that division. The Bills have been the bullies of that division since Tom Brady skipped town to Tampa Bay, and the Dolphins have supposed to have been their challengers, but have never really stepped up to the plate. And it looks like this year they might have a chance. Offensively, they look dynamic. The Bills are still without Von Miller, so that cripples their defense. So we'll see how this is going to play out, sir.
I just think that they may have overplayed their boundaries last week on offense, and they're going to be either really inflated and kind of blow, or they're just going to kind of go in and it's not going to be a good day for them. I think Josh Allen is going to have a breakout game for the season. I think he kind of gets his jive back in this one. And I think Buffalo starts rolling back to what everybody thinks that Buffalo should be.
I agree with you, Matt. The Dolphins only lose this game if it is negative 10 degrees and there's snow on the ground. Just slow those boys down. Without Von Miller, man, I think it's going to be real difficult. And Josh Allen, for him to have an extraordinary day, he's going to have to actually give the ball to somebody else.
Yeah.
He can't run the ball like he does, and I don't know. Every time he does it, I think he's going down for the season. So I like Miami.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. It said Josh Allen throws 2 picks.
I think he just likes disagreeing with me.
Yeah, I think it's all about you, bro. I think it's all about you. And now we have the BW Sports National Game of the Week.
The shit Chicago Bears versus the caca Denver Broncos.
This is the shit bowl.
Oh, totally. This is what we call the toilet bowl.
Hey, we have 2 franchises that are in a disarray. You got the Broncos, whose coach, quarterback, fans, nobody seems to pony up and get this shit together. And then you have a Chicago team that just has the refusal to bear down and get this shit together. I don't know, man. Everybody's got pieces. Chicago just added a dynamic piece, and they can't even get him the ball.
I think there's more disarray in Chicago than there is Denver, and I think that it hurts to even say it, especially after they just let 70 points be scored on them. But I think the Denver defense is just a little bit better than the Chicago's defense, and that's what holds them off for the win.
Hey, I can't honestly say that anybody is better than anybody in this game. I mean, just really. I mean, I can't. I think
I should have put my vote in for both teams.
Yeah, really. You know what I'm saying? And what was Tim saying in the feed? This game will mess around and be a tie. And 2-2. But I'm going to go with the Bears because my dumb ass is going to ride this ship all the way down.
Matt, no, not 9-6. It's going to be like 8-7. There's going to be 2 field goals and a safety.
That is amazing.
Final score: Denver
11 to 8. That
8.
should be the score. 11 to 8.
4 safeties. Wow.
11 to 8 because you get that one. Somebody's got 10, and they get that 1 point because they blocked the field goal and returned. They blocked the extra point and returned it for a touchdown from 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
No,
yeah,
here's what's going to happen. Chicago's going to be up 10-0, okay? 4th quarter. Russell Wilson's going to throw an immaculate 99-yard touchdown pass to Judy. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion then, so it's going to be 10-8. And then they get the onside kick. They take it down. They get a 15-yard penalty going backwards on them. They have to kick the field goal for the win, and they win 11-10.
Awesome.
We're calling it now, folks.
That is awesome. That is a scenario for the gods. So we get to our last game of the week, which is probably going to be as equally as terrible. But like I said earlier, we actually think these teams will actually have an excuse to be this bad. Like the Panthers have a rookie quarterback rebuild. I think they'll get better as the season goes on. Not to say they're going to win a lot of games, but I think fundamentally as a team they're going to be better than both of those other teams.
I agree.
Um,
But these teams
but
are 0-3.
but they're still 0-3. Regardless. Like
They're 0
Minnesota,
and 3.
I yes, 0-3. But listen, bro, listen. That was the one thing I missed because earlier I still had Eagles and Buccaneers up with these pictures. So I got almost all my proofings together. I just missed one this week. Damn it.
No, see, this is a 1 o'clock game, and that's why I'm picking the Vikings because Kirk Cousins can win 1 o'clock games.
Like I don't know. I really coin flipped this game. I really whipped out a coin and I flipped and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go with the rookie. I'm gonna go with the rookie because I feel their defense is a little bit better. I think Minnesota. They could show up at any time. If Kirk Cousins decides to throw the ball to the right person.
Yep,
But
that
that's
helps.
beside the point.
Yeah.
But the Dalvin Cook missing is he.
Oh, big time, big time, big time.
So there you have it. This is how we break it down.
There you go.
I'm gonna ride with the wrestler.
I saw my name with Greg's a lot, so I'm feeling good.
And this is where you infect his picks and bring him down the style.
I'll take it.
I will take it. So yeah, there's our picks for this particular week.
Ah,
So I feel good. I feel good about my picks. I feel good about Team USA in the Ryder Cup this weekend. I feel good. I think we're going to get our first win on European soil. I feel good about it, bro.
I do feel good about that. We need to bring that championship back to the States. That needs to be here for a while.
Well, we won it last year here, right? Did we win the Ryder Cup last year? The miraculous come from behind victory.
Was that last year?
Yeah, I think we won it last year.
I don't remember, dude.
Man,
I've slept since then.
yeah, I know. I've been working on my putting game in the garage. I got a putt thing.
That's the one thing I haven't done at all this year. I don't think I did. Maybe once is went out and golfed.
Well, we got time. We can hit an 18, man. We got time.
I'm fine with going. Let's go.
We got time, man. Just
If
make sure we
anybody's
have
out in
enough
the
balls.
Indianapolis area, let's get together, man. Let's go golfing together. We'll throw a whole shindig together. We'll get 4 teams or whatever. I don't care. You guys can play against us. We'll beat you. We probably won't, but we'll act like it.
Yeah, by the time we get to the show the next time, we definitely were beating your ass.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm down, man. Let's get it in, man. Let's get some stroke. Well, I'm not going to say that. Let's get some golf strokes in.
There you go. I'm glad you caught yourself.
Yeah. I caught myself being earned. You know what I mean?
Woo!
And that's why we have friends, and that's why you should have some of our friends too.
That's right, folks. Become friends with our friends over at Elite Performance, Checkered Life Customs. You can bet that Doc Sports Picks, My Bookie, The Fighter's Friend, The One's Kitchen, Inner Beast Sportswear, and Southern Indiana Combat Production.
Dun, 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 dun. There you have it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Got some good games coming up this week. Looking forward to it. Heading south here in a few days, so I will be on location next week at the show.
Should be fun.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else is popping off. Volleyball's coming to an end, and
Bump
yeah,
set spike.
bump set spike. Then we go to run, dribble, score, shoot. Back into the court, basketball side.
Oh yeah, man. Big day in the NBA today.
Yes,
Dame
it
Lillard
was.
to the Bucks. Oof. Whew.
Is he chasing it now?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's chasing it, but he was ready to get out. I mean, technically, you're always chasing the championship if you're
Right.
anybody. You know what I mean? But you have a golden ticket. You have a golden ticket, boy. And all you lost was Drew Holiday. So you still got Chris Middleton. You still got Brooke Lopez and Bobby Portis. Shit. You add Dave to that, that's killer. But anyway.
See what happens.
But somebody's Portland is not going to get Drew Holiday. So are the Lakers going to get Drew Holiday?
Well, no, we know it ain't going to be the Pacers. They don't like paying anybody.
Hey, they started. We going to see. We going to see. I like the Pacers core, man. But we'll talk about it on another day.
There you
But
go.
tonight, it's Wednesday.
At the state of basketball.
It's the Lion. It's the One. It's
Boom,
the
boom.
Dukes.
Boom,
It's the
boom.
network. It's the fellas that know. I'd run out of stuff to say.
It's the boom, boom, pew, pew, bang, bang. I need to find that button. And that
Right.
note, Damon, what do we do?
We keep Indy sporty.
Pew, pew.
You like the pin click?
I'm hitting the button, the button, the button.